Welcome back to the Triangle Curling Center in beautiful Durham, North Carolina. We're here with the second Saturday morning event in our Carolina Classic, our annual Big Bonspiel, 32 teams from all over the place. We've got people from Potomac and from St. Louis and from Pittsburgh and people from Canada. They're just coming out of the woodwork for this Bonspiel. It's our last big event of the year before we melt our ice. And it also represents 1 year in our current building. So we had our Classic this time last year, and it was our very first event before leagues even started. And now we've come full cycle. So let's run down who's playing today. See if I can get the team rosters up. On sheet A, we have Team Walsh versus Team Thompson. On sheet B, we have Team Jackson versus Team Klein. On sheet C, Team Honeyman versus Team Glesser. And on sheet D, we have Team Schultz versus Team Smith. Very back there in a red shirt is Steve Janosko. He's our ice maker, head of the ice team, and he has been working tirelessly here to make sure he does 2 scrapes a day, pebbles and nips between each game, and he's here from 6 in the morning until midnight. We're going to pick a sheet here as soon as somebody starts, and it looks like they're getting ready to start on sheet A, so that's where we are going to start. He's anxious to go. I'll get the colors straight as soon as we figure out who's who.
Who's who on this team? Okay. We've got Walsh and Thompson, but I don't know which guy is which.
Alright, so I do have to get the colors switched on this.
Actually, we better bring
I was just informed that Thompsons are in the quote crazy shirts unquote.
Sweep!
So you can hear there are 4 games going on at once here. We have 2 microphones, one at the far hog line, one at the near hog line, hanging between sheets B and C. There's our cowbell to indicate the start of the game. We start a 2-hour countdown timer. It'll sound again at 10 minutes, and at that point, you finish the end that you're in, but you're not allowed to start another end. So speed of play is important here. And we've had a couple of games that only went to 7 ends. As soon as this shot comes to a stop, I will give you an overhead view from our pan tilt zoom camera. You'll get an idea of the layout. Looks like that rock is going to be hogged. Here's our pan tilt zoom view of all the scoreboards in the 4 sheets. We can actually zoom that back out again to do all of the far house games. A little bit dim there. I'm probably going to have to adjust the brightness on that camera at some point. But as you can see, we're a 4-sheet facility. And with a 32-game Bonspiel, we start on Thursday nights and we go right through to Sunday afternoon. We go back to sheet A where we started our broadcast. All right, so we have our guards in play. We're finished with the front end. And now we get into a drawing competition.
Yeah, you gotta go early, guys.
Looks like that's going to be a nice shot if they can get it there. Starting to make its move sideways, and the ice is going to be a little bit stiff after being freshly pebbled. He's by the guard, but not by much. But that's there to tap in later on. Let's run down the teams here. Team Thompson is Barb Thompson as lead. Joe Camerano is second. Kathy Harlow is third, and Kenny Thompson is skip. That's going to crash onto the previous red guard. Previous red draw attempt. Oh, it actually clips their own guard. Alright, let's run down Team Walsh. The lead is Jeff Ishibashi. Second is James DeEuro. Third is Jim Yeager, and the skip is Patrick Walsh. Once again, I apologize if I am butchering anybody's names.
Yes. Yes, drop. Yes.
Sheet A at our club is known for its wonky ice. It is right next to an outside wall, and it's on the left of the current view of the house. There is a run that's on the left side 4-foot line, right at the hog line. You'll see it. It will tend to curl from left to right until it hits that run, then it'll go straight, fall back out towards the wall, then when it hits the house it will curl back in. You can do some marvelous trick shots once you figure out what the ice does.
Hurry.
Ice on the right side tends to be fairly normal, but there is a large amount of swing from right to left.
Yep. Good shot, George. Very nice.
It's like this shot's just a little bit close enough to being on the broom. He's going to end up taking out his own rock, though.
Control.
The center 4-foot strip, as with most of our sheets, since the ice has been in for a year, is a little bit dished, so it's kind of like curling in a half pipe. If you're on the center line, it's going to run fairly straight, but as you move further away from the center line, you start to get a bit more ramp in play, a little more swing to the shots.
Shots there. Right back.
It's like a draw attempt.
Right back.
He's going far afield for this because he's seen what kind of swing there is out there. Now it's starting to make its move, but it's a little bit light out here.
Go right up to it.
And we'll add another rock into the rock garden on center line. Kenny has figured out how it swings. He might opt for doing a draw shot. If he has hammer, he might call for clearing some center line guards. Looks like he's gonna, if it's the same line as before, then he's gonna get rid of that red rock. The shot looks a little narrow compared to the previous attempt. Gonna make contact with that front yellow on center line. And definitely send one of those red rocks flying out the back door. There's lots of promote opportunities out front of the house. Most of the draw shots have been plugged up by guards on the outside the 4-foot. So it looks like Patrick has opted for a little bit of a tap on one of his own rocks. It's a very weight-sensitive shot. If you don't get it right, it's going to cut across the center. And if you throw it too hard outside the 4-foot, it's just going to hang out there. And still no rocks in the house. He's calling for a raise. We'll tap back on that center line yellow. Unfortunately, he is putting the broom way out there, and his tap weight, it's probably going to hang out there and come in. And if it does come in, it's going to tap up the red rock. We're a little narrow on this. It should be nice to hit that yellow rock, but I don't know what kind of weight they're going to hit it with.
Just this much weight.
A little bit of pinball action, and we have a rock in the house. Yellow does have hammer, so they would prefer to see that line to the 4 foot open.
Hurry! Hurry!
The red team sees an opportunity to either draw in behind the yellow shot rock, or if they come up a little light, they can provide a guard, prevent the yellow team from getting access to the 4 foot. Again, this is a very weight sensitive shot. If you're too light, it'll cut across center. If you're too heavy, you'll flash right by. Looks like he's a little narrow on this shot. It got outside the 4 foot, so it takes its time, and then it hits a ramp, and then it comes back in. If your weight's good, the shot will be good. All right, he's just slightly behind T-line and fully exposed, so this is an opportunity for Kenny Thompson to do something about that. He's not taking very much ice. He's going to need a fairly heavy weight if he's going to do a takeout on this. It would be ideal if he could roll behind cover. But for now, he has to deal with that red rock. He's calling for more ice.
That looks like hack. Hack weight!
He's on the broom. He's heavy though, so it's going to tend to float to the outside. Let's see if it comes back in enough. He's got a piece of it. Oh, he does not.
Hurry! Hurry! Hurry!
That was more of a control weight takeout. He needed probably a hack weight to have it come back in. Patrick now has an opportunity to guard that shot rock. If he's too light on this shot, it'll cross over center line, add to the rock pile, and would not be an effective guard. Looks like he's on the broom. Let's see how his weight is. Sweepers aren't touching it. There you go, a little finish it up there. And a nicely thrown guard. The draw shot may still be there, but that's touchy to get through that narrow port. This is the last shot for Kenny Thompson.
I just don't know how much it costs. Can we throw any this way, Eric?
He's eyeballing his options. There is an option to do the run back, the double run back with the red, yellow, red combination. But it looks like he's opting for a draw or plug up the port and limit red to just scoring one. And that way Kenny can get the hammer at the least possible cost. That looks a little wide and a little heavy, so it's going to hang out there. He might get some good pinball action. A little wick off one of his own rocks would be good. Any wick would be nice. No, it's a duplicate of his first shot. Red now has an opportunity to slide through the... Oh, my mistake. That's red rock is for sheet B. Kenny did have the hammer. Sometimes there's a problem here when people don't put the rocks into the right corral. They're color-coded to be opposite colors as you go from one sheet to the next. So if you've got 2 sets of red rock side by side, it's tough to tell whose sheet the red rock is for. All right. Red is on the scoreboard with 1. Kenny Thompson retains the hammer. Patrick would like a center line guard. But they're inside the 4-foot, and it tends to catch a ramp and swing wildly over to the right when you try to do those guard shots, going away on the odd ends on sheet A. Well, it seems to be hanging out okay as a center line guard. Our ice team may have fixed that heavy ramp on sheet A. This might be a good time to switch over to sheet B. We've got some action going on here.
Keep going! Don't you stop!
Murray Jackson is delivering last rock for this end. He's already lying 2. Looks like they're just trying to draw on full 4 for 2. Sorry, line 1 drawing for 2. He's on the broom. Actually, maybe a little bit narrow, if anything. But he doesn't want to run the risk of raising that yellow into the house. There we go. He's cleared the guard. You got to get it full 4-foot. Nice shot, Murray. Let's stick with sheet B for a little while. We can run down what the events look like. This is our 10:15 a.m. game, so on sheets B, which is what we're currently looking at, and sheet D, we have our first event, the Nostrand event. Evelyn Nostrand being one of the founders of the Triangle Curling Club. And on the other 2 sheets, sheet C and sheet A, we have the second event, which is the Hartman event. All right, looks like the Klein team is getting ready for their last shot of this end. I'm guessing Murray wanted a guard at the top 4-foot, but a little heavy and curl a little bit much, so there's an opportunity for a double here. Klein can make the double. Then they could score 4, although I don't see... It's a tough double. I think he's just planning to come in and pop the center rock off the button.
No margin of error.
He's really giving this shot a think. Looks like he's getting ready to fire. He's on the broom. He's heavy though, it may not come in time. Making its move. Will he clear the guard? He grazes it. Oh, that's going to cost him a point.
didn't notice it until just now. I literally well, I'm down there. This part just gets traction back.
Okay, and then you're taking the dollars? Okay. Was that for me too? Yeah, okay, perfect. And then do you want to buy $1? Okay. Is that for you?
What's that?
The dollar store?
I don't know.
I'll find out. Hold on. I'll find out.
All right, I am joined here in the broadcast booth by the very lovely and talented Denise Stewart, who is selling raffle tickets. It's one of our fundraisers for this event. All righty. We're all set. I've got some names to write out on my tickets during the slow spots. Looks like Murray wants to guard that shot rock. This is Lindsay Lard delivering lead stones for Murray's team. She is also in charge of the bar. Very important job. Her significant other is Mark Audie in the fancy pants. And he is joined in sweeping by Kathy Jackson, Murray Jackson's wife. The Klein team has Mike Mills delivering lead stones, Omar Van Rooyen delivering seconds, Susan McIsaac a third, and Barry Klein is the skip. I've had an opportunity to play with Mike on many occasions. He's an excellent curler and definitely an asset to the Klein team. Although it doesn't look like he was given enough ice for this takeout shot. This is sheet B on an even end, so there will be a lot of swing from right to left. There's also swing from left to right, but after it gets across center line on a draw shot, it tends to straighten out. There's a little bit of a bowl effect. Murray attempting to replace that guard. This is Mark Audie's first shot from the third end. Sorry, second end. Looks well placed. There's still an opportunity, about half a rock visible. Looks like he's got about enough ice to curl in there with a little bit of a tap back. Looks like it's on the broom. The sweepers aren't touching it too much, just a little bit of cleaning. Now it's starting to make its move. Will it come over enough? It tends to straighten out a little bit as it gets towards the right side of the house and doesn't curl quite as much. He does make contact. I should switch to the overhead view, shouldn't I? There we go. I have the benefit of looking out the window here and seeing the play and not paying too much attention to the monitor. Mark is going to attempt to remove that yellow stone. Although it doesn't seem to be crossing over center line. Again, we've got that half pipe to deal with. We might get a piece of it. You can see Lindsay willing the rock to move over. Just the tiniest of pieces. Red is still shot and behind cover. Barry's opted to do the draw again, freeze up to that shot rock. Shot looks like it's a little narrow, perhaps. But that may work to their advantage if he's got the right weight. It's making its move now. It's more difficult to draw going in that direction on the right side of the house because of that straightening effect. It tends to flash by, not pull over behind cover as much as you would like. We have 2 red rocks in the house and 2 yellow rocks in the house. Murray sees the danger and he's still opting to get rid of that yellow rock. He knows he doesn't need a lot of ice this time because when you're coming down center line, you don't get as much curl, but he is off center line this time, so let's see if he's got the right amount of ice. This is Kathy Jackson delivering the first of 3rd stones for the red team. She is a little bit narrow. It's going to hug down that center line. They're sweeping like crazy, but it's not coming over enough. She's got about a quarter of a rock. It should be enough to knock it out of there. Oh, and a beautiful hit and roll double. Nothing but red rocks remaining. As a reminder, this is an A event game, or a first event, the Nostrand event. If Jackson can win this, it will put them into the semifinals. Tell I'm a little biased here. I'm cheering for the local team. This looks like it should do the trick nicely. Beautifully thrown stone. And the crowd goes wild in the warm room. Murray's going to have to get rid of that, and there's enough gap between it you could remove it without doing too much damage, but I'm sure he doesn't care too much about the red rock at the back of the house right now. He is opting to do the freeze. A difficult shot. Kathy should be dialed in already for draw weight. I don't know if he's giving enough ice for the freeze because it does shoot over from left to right before it straightens out again. Kathy is going to pluck that rock right out of there. Ooh, not quite. A little bit of a jam. Red is lying 1 and possibly 2. Difficult to tell because of that fisheye distortion effect on this sheet from the overhead cameras. The distortion isn't as bad on sheets B and C as it is on A and D because of the nature of the sloped roof. The outside sheets are closer to the roof cameras than the inside sheets. Barry wants another draw attempt to freeze up to the shot red rocks. Murray does not have hammer in this. Hammer goes to the yellow team. It looks like this shot might be a bit heavy for a draw. The sweepers aren't on it. I think they've going to make contact with their own rock. And that's definite. Red is lying 2. Murray can see this, and not having the hammer, he is going to guard. So I don't think that's enough ice for a guard. There we go. With guard weight, you probably run the risk of clipping the red guard out front of the house. He may be just trying to draw into the house a biter at top 12. But it still leaves a wide open draw for Barry to get into the 4-foot. Looks like he's on the broom. Shot might be a bit heavy. Kathy's calling him for sweeping for line. Unfortunately, that's going to be deep in the house. Maybe Murray's thought is just to add more rocks to the pile, but it does drive one of their rocks out of contention. He's shaking his head, so that wasn't the intent. See that we're up to a whole 7 viewers this morning. Must mean at least there's a few people awake after last night's drinking escapades. Looks like Barry's best bet is to freeze up to the shot rock. He needs to take more ice than Murray did if it's going to be a freeze, otherwise he's going to run that red back and jam it against the yellow. Well, that's not much more ice than Murray took. He did clear the guard by a fair amount, but there is a tendency for it to over-curl from left to right until it gets into the 4-foot region, and then on the right side, then it's going to straighten out a little bit and fall back towards center. I don't think that fall is going to come into play on this shot, though. Barry's calling for less ice on this shot, which is a little surprising. And he's actually pushed it a little bit wide. And it's also quite heavy, so we'll see what it does. My guess is it's just going right through the back of the house. So red now lying 3. Murray definitely needs a guard in this situation. It's his last stone. He does not have hammer. For me, I'd be inclined to put a centerline guard at the top 12, which will prevent the drawing arc into the shot rock and also possibly cut them out of half of the 4-foot.
You just play a guard, Kath. Take another inch in. What? This is what you had in your last race? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that'll probably come in anyhow.
Murray has changed his mind. He's now going for the guard.
Yep. Right here. Yes. Bring it in. Bring it in. Get it short.
That looks a little bit, I don't know. I'm thinking heavy for a guard. But it's also going to curl quite a bit, so we need to get it past the existing guard. Little kiss would be okay, but it looks like it's the same draw shot, the same spot everybody's been going. Red now line 4. Yellow has no hope of displacing all 4 of those red rocks, so their best bet is just use them as backers and play the draw shot for 1. Barry's just debating how much ice he needs versus how much weight he wants to throw. If he's wide and heavy like his previous shot, it's just going to flash on by. He also doesn't want to be narrow and light. He can be narrow and heavy, he can be wide and light, but not wide and heavy and not narrow and light. It looks like he is wide and heavy again. The sweepers aren't touching it. Alright, it's coming in on a nice trajectory. He should be happy with that shot. It's got backers, as long as it doesn't deflect off too much. Oh, yeah, what I said, the whole room just said. Lots of, oh. Looks like he's got at least 1. Murray's got 1. They're debating whether he's got 2 or not. I don't think it is 2. They might get the measuring out and find out, because the circles are never drawn perfectly circular. Looks like they made their decision. We'll find out in a moment. In the meantime, I'm going to go to our overhead view and check on the progress of the various sheets. Over on sheet 1, looks like it's a 2-1. Find out who's playing on sheet 1 again. Let's just run them down. 2-1 in favor of Patrick. Sorry, 4-0 in favor of Patrick Walsh. Sheet C. Looks like Honeyman is trailing Glessner by 2-0. And sheet D, we have Schultz in the lead over Smith by 2-1. And we're going to switch over to sheet C, already in progress. And we'll stick with them for an end and a half. This is Sean Franklin delivering yellow stone for the Honeyman team. Give it a little bit of a flip there at the end. Maybe coming in a little bit too hot. Will it come over enough? Now, that little flip costs a little bit of extra wide and a little bit of extra heavy. And that takeout is there. I can see what Gary was trying to do. It just clip the red rock and drive it between the 2 yellows. This is Team Glessner. Let's run down who's on Team Glessner. Their lead is Erica Amundsen. The second is Jeff Greenberg. The third is Sarah Pearl. And the skip is Michael Glessner.
Is this being beamed internationally?
Let's see, this will be the first of Skip's stones. Honeyman has the hammer in this end. Looks like he's way out there, but I think on this sheet, well, sheet D especially, you need to be about 6 feet of ice. Looks like he's aiming to put a guard in place to prevent them from clipping that red rock and pushing it through. Looks like he's going to be into the 4-foot. If it outcounts the 2 yellows, then he's in good shape. I think Honeyman's best bet at this point would be to be a hit and roll off of the shot red rock. Although he is eyeballing a chance of doing a double.
Why not come at all?
It's going to come from right to left on this. Again, he is at the bottom of the half pipe, inside that center 4-foot strip. He's not going to get very much curl. With that little ice, if he's going up weight, I'm sort of betting he's going to end up with a nose hit. He is a little bit wide of the broom. Let's see if it comes over on this sheet. It does. You better start sweeping it, guys. No, okay. Didn't come over. So even with pushing it wide, still a nose hit. So I guess he had the right amount of ice to start with. Red needing to prevent that takeout on their shot rock since yellow owns second, third, and fourth stones.
Sure. Hurry! Hurry!
I had to do like here.
Okay, off.
The Glessner team is a hybrid team of Ardsley, Philly, and Brooklyn.
Where is it? More? Then sweep.
Might be a little heavy for a guard.
I don't want to promote them.
It might end up promoting the yellow.
Okay, you have quite a bit, so take it to the back of the house. Back of the house.
All right, no real damage done. It doesn't work to their advantage. And there's no guard protecting that red stone. This will be Gary Honeyman's final shot for this end. Running down the list on his team, we have Eric Schultz as lead, George Kitchen is second, Sean Franklin is third, and Gary Honeyman is skip.
We're only giving up one. And there's a chance. Whatever you think. Would you rather drop? Draw here? I don't know how much the curl is.
The options are the draw, the hit and roll, or the takeout. Angle takeout through the hole.
Three.
Oh. I know you. I thought he took us to back. I was just watching. I didn't see that. Touch skin.
There we go. Looks like he's doing for a bit of a hit and roll.
Okay. Oh, no.
That's a draw. Get on it. Get on it. All right. That shot has backer. Not much hope of being able to draw a red rock in there unless they do a hit and roll. Oh, that was the last shot. Okay. Nice shot by Gary Honeyman. We'll stay here for another end, and then we'll switch over to sheet D. We can do an overhead view of the scores here. Or actually, since I can't remember who's playing on which sheet, I have to rotate through them. Looks like Schultz is in the lead 4-0 over Team Smith. Over on sheet A, we have Walsh still in the lead 5-0 over Thompson. Sheet B, Jackson is in the third end. They're leading 2-0. And we're back to sheet C.
Same way. Just trying to get higher though. We can do it from sweeping though.
Full 12. Perfect. Right in the center.
You were 10 tight last time too. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, come on.
Not much.
Come on.
Oh, he was trying.
Yeah, come on.
He was trying to throw weight where he could
You do it. Come on.
it would have been so good.
Okay. Just a heavy draw. Slightly heavy, like this much. This draw.
Surprised the red team did not opt to take out the yellow stone since it was fair game in the house. Now, this is not George Kitchen, so there must have been a... Sorry, George is one of the sweepers in the white shirt.
Hurry!
Who was that delivering second stones for Honeyman? Oh, Eric Schultz.
Hurry! Hurry! Hurry for line! Hurry! 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 Hurry!
You're not really using the broom.
Looks like a draw attempt, but I think it's going to be a little light and wreck on the guard. Actually, the weight wasn't too bad, just needed a bit more ice. Looks like Gary's trying to get George to draw in behind the front centerline guards. George learned to curl in high school. He's using the old style backswing on the rock. Still in use by some of the world players. Eric and Sean furiously sweeping this rock to get it by the guard. And a very nice shot. My apologies. Get the overhead view. This looks like it should be an effective run back. No, a little bit off angle. Yellow is exposed, so they're going to need to do something about that. Let's see what Gary wants to do. He may opt to split the house even. little bit of insurance. That's an interesting call. Guess he's trying to block up the draw to the 4-foot, but there's still a lot of rocks to go. He does have hammer, so he doesn't really want to block up access to the 4-foot. Another well-delivered shot by George Kitchen. George took a hiatus from curling after high school and has recently taken it up again with the Triangle Curling Club.
Should play MLB. Just freeze, right?
Well, this has some juice behind it. He's going to clip the inside of that yellow possibly. He does. A little bit of pinball action going on there. Changes the face of the game.
Still the same way. It'll be a little heavier out here.
All right, 2 guard.
Sean Franklin throwing the first of third stones in the 4th end. Yellow does not have hammer. As you can see by the scoreboard, they scored last. And a beautifully thrown guard.
Hurry, guys, come on, you can do it. Come on, go, you're close, go.
You hear Murray and Kathy yelling over on sheet B.
You got it, go.
As Mark and Lindsay furiously sweep. And another bullet coming down the ice here on sheet C. They're guaranteed to hit something here. It looks like they're just going to clear that front guard that Sean just put up. Oh, they got a little bit of action on the shot rock as well.
Yeah, 4 feet less than last. Yeah. All right.
Sean attempting another guard. Since he's already dialed in on that weight, it's probably a good idea to use him again for that purpose. Looks a little narrow. Although sometimes tough to tell. Sean is a left-handed curler, so he's delivering from the opposite hack. They're going to take that right into the 4-foot. Nice draw shot, but unfortunately it does have "kick me" written all over it. That's okay, he's a little wide of the broom. Yeah, I don't think they took enough ice to start with, but we'll see what happens. No, he had the right call on the ice. And another double takeout. Changing the face of the game. It's hard to tell who's got shot rock now. They're looking it over.
He's driving me crazy. He's trying to take the mess. Doubles in a row.
Looks like Gary wants to curl over to the left side and freeze up against that red stone, taking a lot of ice. Looks a little heavy, maybe. I don't know, they're sweeping like crazy. Will clear the guard. Line looks good. Ooh, a very nice attempt there. I think that's our shot rock. Tough to tell again because of that fisheye distortion effect on the lens. They're going to try and, I don't know if they want a nose hit or if they want to do a hit and roll over to the other yellow rock. That would be a bonus. But level of difficulty is high given that those rocks are almost at the same height in the house. You need a lot of weight if you're going to do that. Alright, so he's a little bit narrow. It's going to be a nose hit at best. Yellow is still shot, then Gary can afford to split the house. All right, he's going to draw in behind cover. All right, he doesn't have the hammer. So he needs rocks in play. He can't afford to have them do a takeout because that would lead to a possible 4 for the red team. But it's not curling over. It's a little bit heavy. At least he won't leave a target for them to shoot. They're going to have to draw for 1. It's too risky to try and do a takeout on that yellow rock because it'll just jam against the back red. He just needs full 8 foot to score. He's thinking about how he can get more than 1 here. Looks like he might try to peel that one out of there. Not quite peel weight. He's going to come in with maybe, hack weight, backline weight. Chip it sideways, but that's a risky shot. It's too narrow and heavy. He'll flash by. If he hits it right at the right angle, he's just going to jam it in and it'll roll off the red rock and be the shot rock. Oh, he's coming the other direction. Okay. Another case of hand signals, different. This looks way too heavy for a draw shot. All right, so a steal of 1 for Honeyman. All right, we're going to switch over to sheet D now. We're leaving a tie game of 2-2 on sheet C. It's one of our A event games. We're going to switch over to one of our second event games here over on sheet D. Schultz versus Smith. We'll pick up here just prior to Skip's rocks. I think this is the last of Third's rocks. Looks like Smith is definitely trailing Schultz 6-0. Still a lot of ends left.
A little early, guys. Yes.
That's Chris John holding the broom for the Schultz team. Schultz team is represented by Len Jarabek, Daphne Roberts, Chris John, and Paul Schultz as Skip. Chris is the president of the Triangle Curling Club and an excellent curler in his own right. And that's not going to have the desired effect. Red has a chance to get on the scoreboard here. We've still got 2 red rocks left and 1 yellow rock left. You may be thinking about trying to put another rock into the forefoot to get more points, but the smart play is probably doing the guard.
Gotta go early. Yes, yes, yes.
He's also eyeballing that double tap. And we'd have to move it forward enough to almost bite the 4. And I think that's what he's going to try and do.
Oh, yeah.
And the Schultz team is going to have to do damage control with their last shot. So you notice we add some red duct tape to the scoreboard so you can tell which score is the red score. Because of that garage door there, we can't mount our scoreboard directly behind the house. So we can't see what happened in the first end or in that first column. Looks like it's coming in. It's going to cut across a bit too much. He's going to opt for the draw into the forefoot. Splits things up a bit, although it does leave a nice pocket for Paul to come and draw right in there. He can kiss off either one of those reds as he tries to get through the port and he'll still be okay. He just has to get his weight right. They're also discussing a possible hit and roll scenario.
This is the Bonspiel, which is like a tournament. We have 32 teams, and they're from all over. Some of them are from Canada, some from Northeast, all over the place. So that's what we got.
Streaming live on YouTube.
I didn't hear anything that time. We think the card.
Yeah!
Really? Okay. Okay. Saturday at 10:15. Okay.
All right, Paul's shot is hard and heavy, so he's probably hoping for a little bit of lucky action on a roll. The line doesn't look too bad. He needs to take it fairly fat, and he does. It's good damage control. It cuts red down to 1, although there is an opportunity for them to take out that rock. They can't really nose it because they run the risk of jamming against the back red. So they're going to have to hit it on an angle.
Yes! Yeah. Oh.
Right.
This way.
Everything set up and my mom
Good job. Come on! Hurry!
It's a lot of fun.
Come on! Give me the hair!
Probably they'll start putting the ice definitely October, and our website.
All right, looks like they're going for the
You go on there and
coming from the outside in for a hit on the yellow rock. They must trust this line a little bit more than the other line because this line has the risk of hitting the guards. Although I'm not so sure which turn he's going to put on it. Okay. Looks like he's... Oh, it's going to be tough to say here. And the jam. But he does walk away with 1 point.
You're normal.
All right, with that said, we're going to switch back over to sheet B. Actually, let's go to sheet A. The game's tightening up over there.
Good shot.
You should come out in the fall. And we have leagues every night of the week. And people can just sub in if they can't commit to the same night every week at the same time. That's right, but you can sub in. We have to practice every week. So, you know. It's okay. We have lots of members. We have like girls, yes, and she works hard at it and have lots of fun. We put handle, we have a rent put down for those. We just haven't got the sports people to come out yet. But we've been working on it. So, and this was all put together by my mom. We have no standard.
Come down. Get in the right spot.
We got so we really, you know,
You're normal.
we care a lot about it being safe.
Yes! Hard! Hard, guys! All right, that works.
What time?
Still lots more, guys. Lots of room.
What time?
Okay, coming now. Yep.
Yeah. Right in. Right in. T-line. Right in. T-line. Tap it back.
I got a better look at it than I did in the car.
Slow down, guys. It's away. It's away. All right, swing together. Go.
He got a lot of money last night. Not because I raced the whole stuff that we cared about the youth, but I know.
I'm guessing he's going for the draw shot.
I only had like under 8, but you know, still for 20 minutes.
This is his first of Skip's rocks for the yellow team. Red team still has 2 rocks remaining. Back in a spot back there. People got out. See if they come up to the front. Yeah, here they come.
Okay, they belong here then.
Yes.
cameras or lenses.
That's a good idea.
But like last time he parked in the back and he knew not to take the road.
He did the same route. He went around here. Can y'all add cameras to the system?
It's full right now. I'm going to add one out there and drop off the ones here in the ice. Because we probably don't need that. And then I'm going to add a license plate camera, like a wildlife camera up front.
You're full white.
These guys started.
They started at 10:15.
It was 10 like 35.
10:35, you said?
Yeah, somewhere around there. I was waiting for lunch. Lunch starts at 11, so I knew what time.
We got it on 8X high speed.
Mine looks good. How's the weight? It looks heavy.
I'm good.
Now we want top full white. Full top 8. Full white. No more than full white. Very nice shot, Gary. Full white. A couple more inches.
There's me coming in. That was me. Okay. The first time. So then I'm just going to stop my radio's not coming out in here.
Yeah.
Back up and back out and get
I'll pull the weight back.
You get there freezing.
Sweet line. Sweet. Okay, keep going now.
Okay, let me do it as slow. That's what they did last time.
And I should be a couple minutes. Looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah, that low, slow front nose and the short, stubby tail. That's the same car. Pretty sure it's the same car. It's a lighter, yeah. Well, that's the hot air.
Yeah.
These are my distance glasses.
Mine's good. You guys got to bite the white.
Yeah.
Bite the white.
Car too, that's stupid.
Bite the white.
You
Bite
said
the white.
a different car.
I thought it was
Bye bye.
it was like a white breeze.
All the way. All the way. You got it.
Yeah.
Push the weight one back to get a copy of it.
Yeah, there's my calendar ready.
He came forward to see it.
No, I was coming in. I saw it. Oh, we'll be here all night. Yeah. Well, no, we have to come down by the bar. But we only leave at 9, after 9, and
There's a 10:30 draw.
there's a 10:30 draw. And each game is 2 hours.
Okay.
We'll be here. So if you want to come see us, come on back. We'll be here.
All right, sorry I took a little break there. We have a little issues here at the curling club. There was a car broken into a few weeks ago, and we've still got people that drive through the parking lot. It's Saturday morning at 10:30, looking for more cars to break into. So, the police were here just taking a report. Nothing broken into, so we're all good.
I'd like to bring another one in. Yes, yes! 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 Can't go yet, can't go. Can't go.
Looks like we've had an update on the score for Sheet B. I'll just switch over there as soon as this shot completes. Looks like a pretty little draw shot. All right, Sheet B, Team Jackson has defeated Klein 10-0 after 4 ends. Well, they're going to be happy with this shot. A little bit of roll to the outside, perhaps. Very nice. Can't really, if he tries to hit and roll in that direction, he's going to lose his yellow rock. Runs the risk of punching it a little deeper. That's one way to do it.
I like this.
Sheet A does tend to float out towards the wall on that side, but comes in at the very end. If you're doing a draw shot, you can get it to cut across at about 30 or 45 degree angle and a bowl-shaped effect towards the button. Takeouts, though, will float. They tend to fall towards the wall. If he gets outside that 4 foot, it's just going to fall. No, he's riding that 4 foot all the way down. Looks like it'll work out for him. Yep. Very nice shot. Team Walsh is looking good for this end. And it's going to straighten out a little bit. Flash by. Yep. That's what that sheet does on that side. Very difficult to get it to curl from left to right on the right side of the sheet. That fall will take it back to the left every time. Now if he's got his weight right, it'll just fall right into the button. You got to get on it. It's got hasn't got enough weight here, unless his intent was to provide the guard to block off access to the 4 foot. But it's still there. Ooh, that's a little hot and heavy. That's going to hang out there. Might even make the port on the far right side. No, here we go. Well, took one of them out of play. Unfortunately, it pushed another one deep behind cover. On the brighter side, there's an opportunity for a run back on the yellow. If you're Team Walsh, what do you do here? Where's their skip? Offering to fill in and not do them a favor. There he is. All right, he's going to try that last minute nosedive draw. Might be a bit heavy for the draw shot. Don't know how frosty it is out near the wall. It's about to make its move. There we go. There's the fall taking over. Wow. Okay. 2 rocks buried. So Kenny needs rocks in play here. He needs something to limit the red team to at most 1 on this end. I don't know whether he's trying to come through that port with some weight and do a takeout on the shot red, or whether he's planning on doing a run back on his front yellow. Looks like tap weight. This might be a bit narrow even. Oh, this may not end well for them. That removes his run back opportunity for his next shot. All red has to do is guard in this situation, and they can probably get 2 or 3 out of this, maybe 4. And he's putting that rock right in that arc that yellow needs in order to draw to the button, although it is coming over quite a bit. That shot may still be there. Kenny's last shot was a takeout weight, or bump weight, so he may not have his draw weight on that side. He may not be dialed in. He's eyeballing the port up front to see if there's enough for him to get in there and tap that red rock a little bit, or at least sit on it. He's giving it a long, hard think. There is that draw opportunity. All he has to do is just get access to the 4-foot, which is doable. Even full 8 would cut out the other 2 red rocks from counting, provided he's behind cover and Patrick can't take him out. Needs to do something to prevent a big end. Looking at the scoreboard, defense hasn't been the name of the story in this game. We've had a 3-ender and a 4-ender. Looks like he's trying that miracle draw on the right side. They just have to get the weight right. The line will take care of itself. Beautifully thrown. Will he be shot rock? Nope, but he is behind cover. I don't know if Kenny or Patrick can get to him here. He could try coming through the port. There's not much danger in screwing it up for himself. But he's going to have to come at it with some weight. He doesn't want to curl uphill in that bowl-shaped house. That's what he's going to do. It will curl. Yeah, if you're starting off left to center, you'll get some swing on it. If you're starting out dead center, you won't get as much movement. Or he's going to outdraw him. I don't know if that's a good plan. You're just as likely to tap him onto the button. Your takeout's probably your better low-risk shot. It's also a high reward if he manages to do it. I don't know if that front red's a biter, but there are 4 red rocks in the house if it is. And if he can nose this through the hole, he'll take 5. And with only 2 ends left, that'll slam the door on Kenny Thompson. He's on the broom. He's got good weight. Looks like he's going to make the port. Oh, no. That was the risk. So just one for Patrick Walsh, which ties the game at 6-6. With that, we are going to switch over. I'll show you the score on D. It's a little bit lopsided. Sitting at 8-2 in favor of Team Schultz over Team Smith. I'll wait till this shot is complete. And then I'm going to go to sheet C, where there's a little bit of a tighter game going on. Ouch. All right, sheet C, the Honeyman-Glesser game. We're just at the beginning of what looks like the 7th end. We have 31 minutes and 17 seconds remaining on the clock, so there shouldn't be any problem with this game completing all their ends. Since we're only on the 6th end in sheet D, it is going to be tight for them to get all 8 ends in.
Yes, go down. Hard. Hard.
I'm going to take a brief pause, but I will return.
Right up to it. Yeah. Top 8. Top 4. Top 4. All right. Come on! Come on! It's okay. Not bad. Top 8. Yes, go now. Good job. Yeah. Up, guys, up.
Hurry up. Freeze in that pocket. Red pocket. Yes.
Give me half. Wait a minute. Let's just tap this one back.
All right. Ain't too late, right?
Yes.
Wait over there. Looks like that gate next well. Yeah, might be slow.
I feel without a way. It's no good. Squeeze! Normal. Yep. Well, it's on me. Off. Whoa, stop. Just control, Joe. Push it. Yeah, man, right? Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, I think we have to go. It's gonna have a throw. Yes. Gotta get it somewhere down here. Whoa.
Okay, back again.
No, I'm not, and I have to do processing of this, so it may not be ready.
Right. Can they not access anything?
When you save it in before file, for some reason our DVR doesn't read it, we can cancel it to file for any player on this device.
But I was here.
Yes! I have to video record it. I can see if I can drop it back off again here for...
Can you show me how to run it? So they can see like you had, but you just look to the top?
Yeah.
Can we like write it down?
Well, it's easy. It's actually written down in the book.
The book? This book?
You know, the green Bible. That you guys cleaned up.
I don't know. I don't want them to come and feel like I'm not being helped. So, TVs, raspberry cameras. Cameras, is this where we're going? Alright.
Is it over?
That's not what we want.
What?
We don't want the CPI app.
It's gotta be over, guys. Right, drop.
And if I phone you today, will you be available?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. I might have to call you today.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
All right, now I'm really back. I had to get my raffle tickets in before I leave. I have to leave after this game's over. And I also have to get the video production put together for people who are casing our parking lot. Alright, so it looks like Glessner's sitting pretty here. Honeyman's got a good raise opportunity. And Glessner is exposed with that red rock on the left of the forefoot. That's what Gary's going for.
What's the weight?
Call him Go For It Gary.
Highlight!
Yeah, you better sweep that, guys. It's got to
All
get
the
out
way!
of the guard.
Yeah! All the way! Nice shot, Gary.
Very nice. Fully buried and on the button. They might try to do the double run back. They could do an angle run back on their lone red rock there that's in the 8-foot. I don't think there's any wonkiness that happens on that side of the sheet going this way. So my personal preference would be the angle run back. But if you're red, let's see who's got a hammer here. Red has hammer. So you might be inclined to clear a guard or two. But I'm sure Gary's capable of putting one right back up, so you might as well use your opportunities while you have them. I think that's the more risky run back because you just run the risk of jamming yellow onto yellow. And you have to get all the angles perfect. You stand a better chance of angle raising your lone red rock into the button. And then you can use that shot as a backup plan for your second shot. There is the run back on the left side of the sheet with the red guard, but that's there's a lot of space between the button and that red guard. Not as much as it looks like on camera because of that fisheye effect. He's going to make contact, that's for sure, but I think he's going to be at the wrong angle. He may do some damage. No, no damage. I think Gary's play is to guard that line, so now he knows that line already. No, it looks like Go For It Gary is going to prevent the draw to the 4-foot that way. I don't know, I don't see them being able to outdraw Gary's shot rock. I guess it's doable, but the odds would be against it. He may be going for 2 in the 4-foot. Looks like sheet D has given up. Final score looks like 8-2, so they must have picked up another steal in the 6th end.
How's the weight? You need full white. Full white.
I think that's a well-thrown guard. If not, draw.
Nice,
Ooh,
Gary.
a little heavy.
Oh, that's good.
He does have 2 in the
Better
4-foot.
deeper than in front.
Yeah, they're going to have to outdraw them. No option. I'm just going to switch over to sheet D while he's giving it a think. You can see the final score where Smith defeats Schultz at least 8-2. I'm sorry. Schultz defeats Smith. Red is on the top. So Smith had 2, Schultz had 8. Back to sheet C. That's going to clip the guard. No, it squeaked by. Nice attempt. A little bit hard for it to curl into the button though. So steal of 1 by Honeyman puts them up at a 2-point lead. No hammer. Looks like they haven't had the hammer for a while. We'll switch over to see what's happening on sheet A here. It's like Kenny Thompson delivering last rock for this end.
We got it.
Has to outdraw. He just needs full 12 and he's good. Or sorry, full 8. White to white. It's a little bit stiff. There we go. He's got it. All right, so that means that Walsh will be down 1 with hammer coming home.
First we'll take wrong handle. Oh, nice shot. Take it out. You don't want to peel? Yeah, give him one.
plus years old.
Yeah.
And the engine would go to my mom's got a 2002, and I'm pretty sure it was older than hers.
Yeah, I remember it was the 90s.
It was like a brown goldish color, brown and light, not too dark though. She said it was tan. I think it was darker. I would think it was brown gold.
Okay.
It's black. This time, now that I know what color it is, I can see where. Like last time, I thought it was black color.
I thought it was dark green.
Okay.
And it looked like a 94 Cadillac Seville. So I'm sure the body styles are very similar.
Yeah, it's definitely a four-door. But it's definitely a good.
And there's the cowbell indicating the 10-minute mark, but the 8th end is already underway on both sheets A and C, so they will continue. That's going to fall back in because of that quirkiness in the ice. Even though it's curling to the right, it's going to fall to the left. I think they figured this out by now. It's in a very difficult spot to take out, though, especially if you're counting on it to curl that direction uphill, so to speak. All right, she's on the broom. It will curl mid-sheet that way. In fact, there's an actual fall, so it may act like it's going to get outside of the red rock. But in reality, it ends up falling back in a little bit at the end. But she made a solid hit, so that's good. It's in an even more difficult place to hit. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. Here's the play at the plate. He's way out there. It might float towards the wall because he's outside that 4-foot stretch, but he's light enough that it's going to fall back in. Okay. Yeah, these people have this line nailed. That's good. Fight for survival with the red team. And 4-foot's still wide open. We've got 3 rocks remaining for yellow and 3 rocks remaining for red. Yellow, of course, not having the hammer. We may end up in a shootout situation on this sheet. trying the same line again, but it's further out this time. I don't know if she's going to make contact. She actually pushed it a little wide, I think. And that's going to give Red a big advantage. All they need to do is block up access to the forefoot, and Kenny won't be able to outdraw them. You still got that front yellow to contend with, which you can raise into the forefoot. Seems to be coming in nicely. Yep, it's fallen out of the glide path. There's still an opportunity for Kenny to get into the forefoot, either by straight draw or by a little hit and roll off that shot Red. There he goes. He's a little heavy. He's probably going to have to hope for a little wick off that red rock. It's going to nosedive about now. Yep, it's going to be a nice shot. He doesn't leave himself too exposed. Doesn't roll too far. Not bad at all. All right, Patrick's debating what to do. There is the draw to freeze to that back yellow. He just has to get the line right. Looks like they haven't played too many shots on that side in this end. All right. I know they're sweeping like crazy. I'm guessing for line because it's got a lot of weight on it. And it's going to flash right on by. Well, break for Kenny there. Still one rock apiece left to come. So I got the video again of the card, same card.
Another break-in?
No, no break-in. Same card casing a lot. Pulls back into the far end again.
Video from earlier. No, this is today's. I know.
Today's.
Yeah.
Same car. We got the color wrong because the camera's not so good. But he leaves right towards the end of this clip.
Get out?
Yeah, he comes back out this way. In fact, he has to slow down because there's incoming traffic.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the same car.
Yeah. So according to Dan, it's like brown, gold, or tan, Buick, Century, or Regal. I make it around a 94, 95.
It has a click type of engine because it's so old. And I thought I got a partial, but I don't know how confident I am.
Alright, so Kenny looks like he's going, I don't know if he intended to put a guard up or if he intended to actually make the draw. But it looks like it's the draw. And he can make some contact with his own rock too. Push it behind cover, which is good. I don't think he's in any danger there. Now Patrick has to do the straight draw to the button because Kenny is behind T-line. He just has to adjust his weight. He was dialed in there before. I think they had to sweep a lot in order to get it around the guard, so he's probably going to have to take more ice. I bought some extra USB sticks.
I don't think anyone even noticed it.
Because you were coming in and out all the time. Dan noticed it.
So we need to get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, do or die here for Patrick Walsh. One shot for all the marbles. Well, not really. He just needs one shot to tie, and then they do skips rocks for all the marbles. But if he blows this shot, it's all over. Sweepers aren't touching it. Looks a little heavy. Now it's starting to make its move. They better sweep soon. They're going to clip that guard. Yeah, he's on the guard. Okay. And that's it for that game. And that's it for this whole session. I look forward to speaking with you again. We'll be back in probably 15 minutes or so for our 12:30